Hello everybody, welcome to a new video. My name is Avi and I read books, and today I got for you guys a book haul. I haven't been buying that many books the last couple of months because I have been in like almost a 6 month reading slump, first of all, so that's a little disclaimer. Second of all, I also have like a little book deal, I'll call it, with a friend of mine, like one of my best friends, which is actually preventing me from buying a lot of books because I always have those moments when I got really back into reading, which is like around April. I got out of my slump and out of my life back on track too because there were some personal things happening, but also just not the feeling that I wanted to read. But then I always buy a lot of books and then my TBR just stretches. So I made a deal that I have to read 5 books before I can buy 1 book with one of my best friends, and so far, I have been reading a lot. I've been buying some books. There are some exceptions for this rule, but mainly I'm just following this rule. So I got a couple of books that I can show you that I bought from January actually until now, because I think I started buying books again around March. So first off, we have The House Across the Lake by Riley Sager. This one is one that I'm currently reading and I'm really enjoying it. I'm not going to give a lot of synopsis by the books because I like to go into my books fairly blind, but this one is actually about a lake house and a girl who disappears across the lake, and there's someone on the other side of the lake who kind of sees stuff happening and suspects that maybe some of her neighbors have to do something with the disappearance, maybe even the husband of the wife, of the female that disappeared. And I'm like a little over halfway through it. I'm really enjoying it. I do really like Riley Sager. I know there are like a lot of lovers and haters for him. I do really like his writing and his stories. I think Home Before Dark was my favorite one of his that I have read, and then I have also read the one in the car. I have read Survive the Night too. So Home Before Dark was, I think, a 5-star. Survive the Night was, I think, a 3-star. So this could potentially, at the point where I'm at, be a 3.5 or a 4-star because I'm liking it more than Survive the Night, but it's not that intriguing and enjoyable as the feelings that I had through reading Home Before Dark, but still a great book. Then about a book that I haven't actually seen anywhere and haven't heard anything about, but I just read the synopsis when I was in a bookstore and it intrigued me. That is The Midnight Game by Cynthia Murphy. Everyone is dying to play, so I like game-ish books once in a while. The Inheritance games I really liked, and the Christmas game I really liked. So this game I might like too. So, rules of the Midnight Game. Do not turn on the lights, do not go to sleep, do not leave the building. When a group of strangers who met on a creepy dead-end thread decide to meet in real life, they only have one objective in mind, to summon the Midnight Man, but once you start the Midnight Game, you must finish it. There's no other way out. 6 players, 1 night, but how many survivors? I'm so intrigued by reading this. I haven't read this. I did see that there was a little bit of like mixed media in it, which I also really like in books. So I do feel like this could potentially be a really great book. I only haven't read any Cynthia Murphy books, so I don't even know if I like her writing style or not, so I do see that Win, Lose, Kill, Die, and The Last One to Die. It's also by her. I think The Last One to Die is a book that I have heard about. So I'm intrigued. The next book is on my TBR for this month. I made a loose TBR that I'm not really going to follow strictly if I don't feel like it, but if I feel like it, I will. Unfortunately, for my own dumb mistakes, this one got a little bit of water damage, and that is Fight Survive by Holly Jackson. The water damage is actually pretty severe, but it was my own dumb fault, so I did not went back to the bookstore to say like, oh, my book is damaged. What actually happened is I bought this during a lunch break because I work really closely to a bookstore, and I had my Arab bottle in there, but apparently I didn't close it correctly, so while walking home, my Arab spilled all over my book. And I tried my best to dry it, and everything is still readable, it's just water damaged. But I'm okay with that because it's my own fault, first of all, and second of all, I also read secondhand and buy thrift store books and everything. So I don't really mind it that much. Obviously, if I can and if I buy a new book, I try to keep it as new as possible, but I am more for the enjoyable read. Like, I know people are like, don't crack the spine. I don't mind if there's a crack in my spine if that means that I can read it more enjoyable. About Five Survive by Holly Jackson. Holly Jackson is one of my favorite authors when it comes to YA murder mysteries. I have read the complete Good Girl Guide to Murder series, and I loved it so much. It's one of my 5-star series. But this one is something completely different. It does not have anything to do with the Good Girl's Guide to Murder series, but Holly Jackson is right now an author that I just want to buy everything from if I see some new releases, because I just really enjoy her writing and her books and her stories. You can't see me, but I can see you. If you try to run, I will shoot. Red Kenny is on a road trip with 5 friends when their RV breaks down in the middle of nowhere. This is no accident. Someone is out there and someone wants one of them dead. With 8 hours until dawn, the 6 friends must escape or work out which one of them is a target. Buried secrets will be forced to light, and not everyone will survive the night. Then the next one got a little bit damaged through Amazon because I mostly buy it like in my local bookstore to support them too, and because the prices on Amazon and my local bookstore aren't that much different most of the time. And that is The Love Hypothesis by Allie Hazelwood. I have read this one in April and I loved it so much that this was a 5-star read. And I don't give romance books a lot of 5-star reads. Like, none of them. I think most romance books are like 3. Some of them are like a 4. But The Love Hypothesis was a 5-star because I loved the dynamic between the 2 characters. I loved the fake dating in there. It was just so enjoyable to read. I read it as an ebook, and that's why I wanted a physical copy, because that's what I do. I buy or read books through audio or ebooks, and if I enjoyed it, like 4.5 or 5 stars, I buy them physically. So this one wasn't in my book challenge with my friend because it's a 5-star, and I asked him, like, is it okay if I buy a 5-star read physically just to have for my collection? And he said it was okay, so happy me. It's not like I need to be held accountable for what I buy, but it's just fun because it also motivates me to read a lot more and to bother my friends with my book talks while most of my friends don't read. But this book is about Olive, who is a PhD student who kind of gets into a fake dating relationship with one of her teachers at the same university she is doing her PhD, which is Adam Carlson. And the reason she gets in this fake dating situationship is because she doesn't want one of her best friends, Anne, to think that she's still in love with her ex-boyfriend, Jeremy, because she actually wants Anne and Jeremy to kind of get together. So to convince Anne that she's not hung up over Jeremy, she starts fake dating relationship with Adam. Adam also has some stuff that is going on in his life, so this deal will also work out in the advantage of his career mostly. And it's a STEM-based. I think a lot of people know this book already, so I don't think I have to talk too much about it. The only thing I did thought that I might not enjoy as much is the fact that it's science and STEM-based, and I'm totally not a person who is really into science that much. But it didn't bother me. I did really love the female characters. They were really strong and really dare, and I loved them. And I fell in love with the banter and the fake dating situation and the friendship and everything that was created between Adam and Olive while being in laboratories and everything and talking about stuff I don't even have a clue what it's about. But it got explained well enough to be able to enjoy the story. Okay, so then I bought 2 books recently that I haven't put in my spreadsheet yet. I realized while filming this video I was ready to do my outro. But the first one is Killjoy, also by Holly Jackson, which is a prequel to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. It's a really small book and I have been contemplating to buy it like a lot of times. But I decided to buy it because, you know what, then the collection is complete. I have listened to this one as an audiobook like a couple of years ago, but now that I have it physically, I obviously want to read it physically too. And this just was to complete the collection. Like I said, I already have read it, which is also one thing that does not fall. Like, one of the exceptions is if it's continuations in series that I'm currently already reading, or prequels or everything that I can buy without reading 5 books. So that's why I bought it eventually, because I was like in the bookstore buying one for my deal, like the 5 books I've read. I could have bought one, and I saw this book, and I have seen this book like the last couple of months in the bookstore, and every time I'm contemplating yes, no, because it is €10 for a really tiny book that I have listened to and that I did enjoy, but just the sake of to have my collection, I thought, you know what, yes, we're doing it. So Killjoy, like I said, is a prequel to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. So Pippa Fitz-Amobi is not looking forward to her friend's 1920s themed murder mystery party, but when the game begins, Pip finds herself drawn into the make-believe world of intrigue, deception, and murder. As Pip plays detective, teasing out the identity of the killer, clue by clue, the murder of the fictional Reginald Remy isn't the only case on her mind. I have read 5 books recently, and I could have bought one, and this is also an author that I really want to have all of the books of, because I really enjoy her books, and that is Karen M. McManus, and the book is Nothing More to Tell. I honestly have no clue anymore about what this book is about, because I have read all the synopses by Karen M. McManus. I put them in a wish list, like a separate list, that once I'm at the bookstore, I do remember which ones I have and which ones I don't have anymore, because I do have 3 or 4 books already of her, and every time I'm in the bookstore, like the past 6 months, and I want to buy one of her books, I'm like, wait, do I have that one, or was it the other one that I got? And that's why I made a list, and so I just literally eeny, meeny, miny, mode the Karen M. McManus books that I didn't have to buy. One of them, and this one, made the cut. True crime can leave a false trail. 4 years ago, Bryn left St. Ambrose for school following the shocking murder of her favorite teacher. The case was never solved, but she's sure that the 3 kids who found Mr. Larkin's body know more than they're telling, especially her ex-best friend Tip Talbot. He's definitely hiding something. When Bryn gets an internship working on a popular true crime show, she decides to investigate what really happened that day in the woods. But the further she dives into the past, the more secrets she finds. So it's a murder mystery, which I love. I love these amateur murder mysteries in general. Like, if you look at my all-time favorite books, or like the favorite books that I have recently, they're truly devious, literally truly devious. Good Girl's Guide to Murder mysteries. I love them. What can I say about it? It's obviously that I'm a thriller and a murder mystery type of girl. But these are all the books that I have bought recently. If you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up, and leave down in the comments below what book you recently bought, and I will talk to you soon. Bye!